Hey, so I was thinking about what we were talking about this morning with Cooper on leash skills. I definitely still want us to do the one-on-one. That's where we're really going to hit the integration of commands. But you kind of talked about knowing what to say and when to say it with him. Watch your toes. Watch your toes. Thank you. There are really only about 6 commands that you need to use with Cooper. So first and foremost, his name, Cooper. He's supposed to sit and look at you. I would practice this little times throughout your day to build this behavior before you need it. So when you're out in public and there's distractions everywhere, Cooper, yes, good boy. And having a couple treats while you do this, having some motivation behind it will help his focus and help his attention span. The other command I would have is a leave it command. Leave it is universal. It can be anything, a toy, a dog, a bird, car, it truly doesn't matter. It can be in middle of play. It can be middle of play. It could be something as universal. He's never ever been allowed to have it. It can be the situationally leave it. It doesn't matter. Leave it is a hard stop. So he's sniffing out the toy. I'm going to say, Cooper, leave it. Come here. Ask him for a sit. He gets a reward. He's done with that thing. Now, if you're at the dog park and he's sniffing other dogs, it's going to be, Cooper, leave it. Come on, let's go. We got to fill the leave it with something. What are we doing next? When you're doing a walk, it's going to be leave it, let's go. Now, I don't command let's go as a command. Like I don't make it a hard, this is what we're doing. Like heel, it traditionally is heel and the dog stays right here. And then when you stop, they sit. And then when you go, heel and they walk with you. We're not doing that. You don't need to do that. But I do find myself saying, let's go, or with me, or even just their name, Cooper, and off we go. The idea is that, hey, I need you to pay attention, focus with me, leave it. Now, if we're interested in something, it's just leave it, let's go. Now, I know you mentioned that when there's another dog, he's looking at the dog nonstop. Leave it, let's go. So I have a couple treats on the kennel right next to us. I'm gonna actually add a couple more to make it a higher value. Here, Bubba. Leave it. See if I can get him to do this. So when you're walking with him and you have the slip lead, he shouldn't be ahead of you. He should be right next to you. And if as you're walking, say I walk really slow, he decides to pull or see the distraction of the thing, you're going to give him attention and release. Now, you don't need to arm. You don't need to do like lifts. Because he's a little bit bigger, I would say that you're going to use your shoulder more. So that's where you can pull him back just a tad, but it should be tension and give it back to him. Yes, good boy, come on. I don't want you to lawnmower him. I just want you to, hey, I need you to pay attention. Hey, I need you to pay attention. He should be right next to you. Your arm should be able to be nice and relaxed. If you're up here doing the tension release, it's not the same as down here. Sorry, kid. If it slides, that's okay. That's where we just adjust it, and especially if you're noticing he's getting a little pushy, a little pulley, come on. And then, okay, let's go back. When you do a circle, I want you to turn into him where he has no choice but to pay attention to you. So that's where your thigh basically going to be at his neck. So it's his neck that, nope, I'm cutting the axis of him looking at that thing. If you go around like this, that's where he's going to look at the thing he wants. This is a good redirection tool, but it allows him to still go, oh, I want it. Oh, I want that thing. Oh, I want that thing. And what we want is, nope, mine. Now, when a dog is crossing the street, so dog is on this side, you've crossed over to this side, put him between you and the dog. You are the wall against the dog over here. So it's going to be, let's go, and having him on that nice short leash. When I walk him, let me see if I back up a little bit. There we go. He's got like 6 inches. Maybe 10 inches of leash with me. Now I think we're about the same height, roughly. I got long arms, so where he comes, like I can pet his head without having to like lean into him. Like he's pretty tall. So that's where he only gets this much leash when we're walking. And especially when I see a distraction or see something that he's not supposed to have, that's where it's, hey, focus with me, let's go. It's a privilege to have this much leash. It's a privilege to be able to walk and sniff and smell His walks have to be structured. They have to be, we're on a mission and we're walking and we're doing the thing. And if you have a lot of distractions, you can have a sit, leave it, look at me. Yes, good boy. Or you can have a place command and the things go past us. But that's where it's a part of what the skills we need to build. Because the other part of the skills that we need to build is the walking of how do I see the thing that I want, leave it, let's go. But I still get to just walk. We have to teach dogs almost how to walk on command. And especially with your hikes, they're phenomenal times to practice this. You can also have one treat and he either gets pieces and parts of it or he has to work the whole walk or half the walk to get this treat. Because he's like, oh, hey, there's a treat, I'm focused. But that's where one little block. Now, when you do this, you can put also a treat in your hand, use your thumb as the blocker or holder. And that way, when you want to, you can make this like a lure where he has to follow your hand, but he can't get it. It doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter where it is. Hi, good boy. Yes, can you sit? Good. And it doesn't matter if it's on the left or right side on the slip lead because he can walk on the left or right side of the slip lead. The big focus of that is it's tension, release, tension, release, tension, release. The release that gives back to him. It's not the tension. And with how strong he is, he gets less leash than you think. He should walk where his head is basically right by your thigh. And then as he gets better or as there's less distractions, then he can have a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. Or if you've let him sniff this area and you see a distraction coming to you, that's where you say, Cooper, good boy, you stuck in that leash, he's focused, okay, let's go. And then he's walking right next to you. And if you see a distraction or it walks past you, you just have to like pull through it. But honestly, at this point, I would say let's really get our one-on-one scheduled. Yeah, let's get on his one-on-one schedule because the videos only do so much. And I think there's some in-person things that we can definitely adjust and change. He's come a long way in his focus and he's come a long way in his confidence of understanding things. He still gets distracted. He still is a goofy teenager. There's no question about that. Yes. Okay, good boy. So I think the other part of it too is, addressing the boxer or addressing the teenager is by doing those walks, is doing those energy outlets. You can also do where if he's really interested in the ball, here you're playing fetch and he has to go get it. And he gets around and go get the ball. And then it's, okay, sit. Okay. And then you toss the ball again and you're playing fetch back and forth and then you're going to ask him for a sit. And then, okay, good boy. And if you're trying to get it, ask him for a leave it. Good. Come here. Yeah. Okay, sit. You can even do place, leave it. Cooper. Leave it. Leave it. Sit. Okay, go get it. Step on the slip lead. Practice that leave it command with the impulse of the drive. If nope, he can't go after it. Good boy, Cooper. Yeah, leave it. Yes. Good. Sit. Come here. Oh. Leave it. Can you toss it up and down? Leave it. Good boy. Good. Leave it. He didn't fight it that hard this time. Okay, go get it. Because the reward in of itself is getting the thing that he's been told to leave it. So doing different types of play and disengagements and impulse controls really will help him in that. We also do this with the place command. Yes. Leave it. Good. We also do this with place commands. That place is a universal. I just have to be chill and calm. Leave it. Leave it. Good. Can I swing in from his face? Good. No. Leave it. No. Leave it. Nope. Good. Leave it. So really what I'd say is if we're still struggling with leash stuff and maybe we want to wait till one-on-one when we meet, do this. Have fun being ridiculous with impulse control. Have fun being, leave it. Yes, okay. How much can you tease him with it? How much can you kind of torture him in the process? But if we can get him to work on that impulse with you, if we can get him to focus and pay attention to you, then that success in the walks will come out of it. Yeah. Let me know if you guys have any questions and we'll go from there. Okay, so really quickly, I wanted to draw for you some of the behavior things that we're talking about. So we want nice, calm leash behaviors right here, right? So when we work on behavior training and behavior plans, it's kind of like chaos, because what happens is we work on a command here, we work on a command here, we work on here, 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 here. And what's happening is we're getting closer and closer and closer to the change of behavior that we want. So this is where it's like you see week 1, hey, we were able to cut out all this stuff. And then week 2, hey, we got into a smaller square. Week 3, look at where we're getting. But it's never quite the same stuff. So as we focus in, you're gonna notice all these other things go away, and helping with what we want ultimately is right here.